Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today our coverage kicks off with a good one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Everyone's seen this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. He's got it to Williams. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Lawrence on 3rd down. And Ingram hauls it in. Touchdown! Evan Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Swift. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. The Lions at 6-5 now on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading about, the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Rolling to his right. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Pritchett. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Pritchett. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Lawrence, it's complete to Williams. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. It's complete. This is Starks. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. See what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, Pritchett. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's taken it around the 40. It'll be a net of 39. 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention. And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Lawrence will throw. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards for number 11. That grab, another career milestone for him. 900 career catches now.
All right, the applause is beginning, right? The applause is going on. That puts him just outside the top 20 all-time in the NFL. Next in his sights.
And it's intercepted. And the Lions force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 29-yard line.
Looking to throw. Pritchett. He'll go right back to St. Brown. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
It's a gain of 8.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
First and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Back to throw. Pritchett. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Bye-bye, Beasley. 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. That pass caught. It's Williams. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw on 3rd down, Pritchett. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They go play action here on 1st down. There's the former Jaguar, DJ Chark. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points in the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Sliding out of the pocket. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 22.
Here we go.
On first down, Lawrence forced out to his left. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They go play action with Lawrence. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Now to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Lawrence. Open man right side is Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are. Yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Jeff Okudah. It was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Throwing to start the drive. Pritchett. And now here is another interception. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to throw on second down. Pritchett. It's Williams on the catch. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He's got a man, complete. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 52 yards. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Lawrence to throw. They'll drop this one off with Etienne. Touchdown, Jaguars! Travis Etienne, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Jags are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 28-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
That's good for the Lions.
Off the play fake. Pritchett. And a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he's got room. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars extend their lead, and they are about to get to a 9-2 record. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. A gain of 3, second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Williams. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Let's go. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. But they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead. And puts it on the carpet. It's out. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent game.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go, here we go.
On 2nd down, Gibbons. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
35 yards that time on the punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I'd